Right Fashion Academy YouTube channel for another interesting tutorial. So in today's tutorial I'll be showing you the easiest way to go about this neckline. It is a yoke neckline with applique, so I'll be showing you how to go about it right here in this class. So the first thing I'm doing is to get my shoulder midline. This is my shoulder midpoint, and I'll be using it for my over bust dart. The second thing I'm going to do is to take this is my chest line, to take my bust point and under bust radius. I will take it around this way, that way. Okay, so I will also mark it on this line, as you can see. So right here we want to start creating the neckline for this yoke. So for the neckline of the yoke, I'll just go up from here by 0.75. So from my chest line, from that point I marked, is 2.75. So I can come down from the center front by 2 or 1.5. So I'll be able to build the neckline. Okay, so it's supposed to be higher. Okay, sorry about that. What we have right here is 2.75, so I should be increasing the neckline. Okay, so I'll mark same 2.75 and I'll just add 0.75 more to it. So if you want it to be as it is right there on the thumbnail, I'm making it higher to that point. Okay, so I'll curve in my ruler from that point into the armhole. I just have it run into the armhole. So you can also check your neckline from this point. If it's going to be too high, we can just go ahead and reduce it, but I don't want to come so close to the bust area. Okay, so it has to be higher for you to have that descending shape we have right there. So it depends on the body size and the body size you are using to make this. So if you notice it's too high for this body size, all you need to do, you can just come down more by 0.5. You can see what I'm doing right there, following this line, 0.5. then I'll blend it in. Okay, so that means I'll just go ahead and do this redraw from this point to this point, and then allow it to run into the neckline, so we will not be using this again. So next I want to do is to create the neckline. So for my neckline, I'm going to come in from here by 3 inches. So once I do that, I will also come down here by maybe 3/4 of an inch. What I'm trying to create here is that neckline you are seeing right there on the thumbnail. So I'll just go ahead and place my pattern ruler, and I'm going to use my yoke to sew this. So this is going to be the yoke of the dress. This is going to be the bodice of the dress. So next I'm going to do is the over bust dart. From here I'll come in by 0.75, and from here another 0.75, and I'm going to create my over bust dart, as you can see. After that comes my under bust dart. So from the center front, I'll take my under bust, divide by 4. I'll mark whatever I have remaining here. I'll impute 0.25 and the rest of it there. And I'll just keep my ruler this way and connect. So you can see how I connected my bustier. I'll take it back to form my full busting. So now the confusion here is how the applique are being placed. Okay, so this applique, are placed in strategic position. So but this is what I'm going to do for this applique. So from this line where I have my mid armhole, my mid shoulder seam line, I'm going to divide from here to here by 2. So I'll divide from here to here by 2, get the midpoint. This is my midpoint. So I'm trying to form the applique for this dress. Okay, it runs all the way to the below the under bust. So below the under bust, I'll be having 1 inch below. I came down by 1 inch from my under bust, and I found the mid line of this, and I'm using this line. So this is what I'm just going to do. I'm keeping my ruler on this. Okay, this is the midline. So I'll just come out from there, from that midline. I'll come out by 0.75, and I'll keep my ruler straight from that 0.75 to the under bust, and then I'll come in with my ruler this way. Okay, so I'm using the curvy part of my ruler. Can you see? So it sits for me from there to there. So that is going to serve as my applique, and this applique is going to cover the whole. In fact, I'm going to trace it out now for you to see. Then we also have other appliques from here. You can just come out by, let me do 0.75 because of the body size I have here. You can also do 1 inch. So I'll just do this. Then on the neckline, this is the actual neckline, I'm going to measure 1 inch for the applique that I'm going to lay on top of this. Okay, so now I'll just go ahead and mark out my applique lines. I'll get it up to the armhole line while this one crosses up to this point. Okay, so I'm going to trace out 1, 2, and the whole of what I have here. I will stop this number 2 at this, the whole of this as 3. So you see why I'm making all of these marks. So I'll come in with my pattern paper to trace out the shape of the applique I'm going to work with. So I'm going to trace the first one from that 1 inch under the bust. I'll go through the shoulder seam line, and then I'll come in with my pattern ruler the way I placed it. So I'm seeing through my paper, as you can see. So I'll just go ahead and do this. Then I'll come to the neckline. This is my neckline. So this is number 3 applique. Then number 1 applique. I'll come this way. Let me just increase this applique a little so everything matches together as it is there on the thumbnail. So I'll just go ahead and stop this at this point. This is number 1 applique. Then I'll go ahead and trace what I have from here for the number 2 applique. I'll just go ahead and trace number 2, and this one comes into this and then to this. So this is my number 2 applique. So these are what I'm going to cut. I will use to cut my applique. So once you get to the market, you can get these appliques. So you can now use this pattern, place on them, and then you can comfortably use, after sewing your dress, you just place them on top and use your beads to cover the edges of the applique. So I've cut out the first one. So I'm cutting the second one as well. So the second one will be cut this way and that way. Alright, so I'm done right now. So when I'm going to sew, I will cut my applique and place right here, and I will cut this. So when you are placing it, please be careful. So this one will go into this. So I'll be adding my the applique. I'll be adding like 0.5 to it. I'll also add like 0.5 to this on this side, and this one will now lay and cover the dress. So I will cut out my yoke now, so you see how the yoke is being cut. So I just go ahead and cut my Bustier, and I'll come here, cut my normal yoke, the way you make your yoke, your neckline, normal. I'll just go ahead and cut my neckline. I'll cut the center front pattern. I'm going to cut my yoke. So this is my actual yoke from where I have mine. So this yoke, I'm using my mesh. Okay, I'm using my mesh, whole mesh. The way you sew your mesh, normal. You are going to sew everything completely before you lay your applique. So here I'll just cut out the under bust and the waistline, and the applique will also be placed on top of the waistline after sewing this to the skirt piece. So I'll just go ahead and cut my over bust and cut my, then I'll close up my Bustier. Okay, and this is the dress, what I will be using to cut my Ankara dress. So I'll use this to sew my Ankara. So I'll use this, sew my Ankara. Then this is what my pattern looks like. So I'll match them up, and you can see I have a shortage right there. So like I always emphasize, when you have a shortage like this, all you need to do is to add up your pepper. So for this, I'm going to add my pepper, so I'll be able to have this lay nice the way we want it to lay. So I'll just go ahead and place center chest to chest line, and then I'm going to place my ruler the same way I did when I was making this dress, run into the armhole. So we don't need to replace any darts at all. So this is it. So this is what you are going to, okay, and I'll separate this and this. All right, people, so that is it, and that is what your pattern for the Ankara. So this will be Ankara, this will be your yoke, which is going to be your mesh. Can you see? Then after you are done sewing, you are going to use this to cut your applique. Okay, so this is how you are going to sew the applique. First, you'll be sewing one, The first applique will be sewn like this. Like I said, you need to add 0.5. So you'll be adding 0.5 inch. Okay, so it lays under this one. And then after that comes the second applique. It will now cover this part. Can you see? That's how you are going to tape it on the dress after making the dress. So this one you add 0.5 inch into this, so it covers right there, while this one comes in like this. Okay, so I will just pretend I'm sewing them now. So by using my adhesive to tape it down on the dress, on the pattern. So once this one goes this way, which is the applique, this comes this way. Then finally, this will be on fold. Okay, so note that this is going to be on fold. So I'm just trying to make it look real. Okay. All right, so that is it. So you can see the space where we have the mesh. So if you are looking at that dress, it looks as if it's difficult, but if you notice, you can see there are lots of applique used on that dress. So this is how we come to the end of this tutorial, and I believe you learned a lot from this class. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every day. Like this video, share to family and friends, drop your comment on the comment section and your suggestions as well. Thank you for coming, and see you in the next class. Bye.